Welcome to This Explainer. Look, today we're tackling a massive, systemic challenge, the $200 billion SME finance gap across Africa. To even begin bridging a gap that wide, founders and investors desperately need a unified system. So we're going to unpack exactly how the FloFund Startup Compass serves as the ultimate operating system for African capital formation and how it's totally transforming the way founders achieve true investor readiness.
Here's a quick look at our roadmap. We'll start with the startup data problem. Enter the FloFund Compass solution, explore the AI founder assistant, review the accountant-verified audit workflows, examine the secure deal room infrastructure, and finally, look at building African wealth.
All right, let's dive into Section 1, the startup data problem. To truly appreciate what FloFund does, we have to acknowledge the daily friction that incubator teams and founders face right now. Without a unified system, impact-driven organizations like the Shonakip Incubator lose incredibly valuable resources. Think about it. You've got fragmented data because every single startup tracks their finances differently, making apples-to-apples comparisons nearly impossible. Then you have manual reporting, where funder reports literally have to be rebuilt from scratch every single quarter. That naturally leads to a severe lack of real-time oversight regarding a cohort's health or their actual cash runway. And the worst part? Audit fatigue. Constantly chasing down founders for missing documents drains everyone's energy and severely bottlenecks capital deployment.
Moving right along to Section 2, enter FloFund Startup Compass.
So that level of operational drag, it's just not sustainable. Enter the multi-tenant FloFund dashboard. And by multi-tenant, I mean it successfully unites startups, incubators, accountants, and investors all around one single shared financial record. Instead of everyone working in their own isolated, disconnected spreadsheets, they're brought together in a completely connected environment. This unified view is absolutely crucial for bridging that massive finance gap because it creates genuine investor readiness and guarantees faster, more confident capital deployment. Finally, everyone is speaking the exact same financial language.
That brings us to Section 3, your AI founder assistant.
To tackle that awful data entry fatigue, FloFund combines deep document parsing with an interactive, voice-enabled AI interface. Now, this isn't just a generic off-the-shelf chatbot. It's a highly specialized AI assistant built specifically to handle the heavy lifting of financial reporting, which drastically cuts down the hours founders spend on basic administration.
Let's break down what this AI can actually do, because it's pretty incredible. First, it offers contextual Q&A with actual citations, pulling directly from the documents the founder has submitted. It automatically parses bank statements and invoices through JSON format. This is vital because it completely eliminates the human error that usually comes from manual copy-pasting, keeping investor trust absolutely airtight. It intelligently reads ZR revenue totals, monthly recurring revenue, and KPI statuses. And get this, founders can even generate custom dashboard widgets just by describing what they want in everyday natural language. You see a diff preview of the data changes, and you just hit apply or discard. Simple as that.
But the AI doesn't stop at data entry. Take a look at the Pitch Coach Pro interface. FloFund actually features a gamified AI investor simulation. It uses voice-to-text to let founders practically rehearse their pitch and get immediate, actionable feedback. This directly drives true investor readiness, making sure that when a founder steps into a real-life deal room, they are genuinely tested, prepared, and ready to lock in that funding.
Let's jump to Section 4, accountant-verified audit workflows.
AI speed and coaching are fantastic, sure, but investors demand trust. If an investor can't trust the numbers, the whole deal falls apart. That's exactly why this 5-step independent accountant verification process is the literal bedrock of the platform. It starts simply with the founder submitting financials through a guided wizard. Boom, that submission is instantly auto-assigned to an accountant who inspects the line items. Every single action taken is captured in an immutable audit log, complete with a timestamp. Finally, the dashboard explicitly and visually distinguishes between raw, unverified data and accountant-verified data. The result of that rigorous verification process? Both the founder and the incubator get a real-time, mobile-first view of completely accurate, dependable metrics. We're talking about verified monthly recurring revenue, unit economics like customer acquisition cost, and crucial cash runway details. And because the system is built as a progressive web app, it pre-caches data. That means users can access these vital metrics entirely offline, even when they don't have a reliable cellular signal.
All right, Section 5, secure deal room infrastructure.
To allow founders to share these verified metrics and fundraise with absolute conviction, The underlying data has to be fiercely protected. The absolute core of this protection is row-level security, or RLS. RLS acts like an invisible, impenetrable wall right at the database level. It enforces strict policies, ensuring that a startup absolutely, unequivocally only ever sees their own private data. Meanwhile, incubators are securely granted access to view the aggregated data, specifically for their own cohort. It's this strict separation that guarantees the privacy and security you need for high-stakes deal rooms.
When you add in these additional security protocols, you effectively neutralize the risk of unauthorized access. The platform utilizes secure RPCs to block automated data scraping, paired with unique token validation. There's a strictly enforced role hierarchy that distinctly separates startups, mentors, managers, and accountants. And I love this feature. It even integrates Have I Been Pwned password checks to ensure users aren't accidentally bringing compromised credentials into the ecosystem. It is an absolute fortress for financial data.
Finally, Section 6, Building African Wealth. Let's just compare the old world with the new for a second. Instead of endlessly chasing documents, barely surviving on siloed startup tracking, and suffering through those painful quarterly reporting rebuilds, incubators using FloFund define their funder metrics exactly once. From then on, they just sit back and watch those metrics auto-aggregate perfectly across their entire cohort, eventually exporting them as one-click, audit-ready PDF or CSV bundles. It completely shifts the incubator's focus away from data chasing and back to active, high-value relationship building. This level of automated visibility accelerates momentum dramatically. For instance, FloFund proposes a beautifully streamlined 4-week pilot plan for incubators like Shonakip. In just 4 weeks, you go from setting up the incubator record to onboarding founders using a simple 8-character join code, all the way to generating your very first verified funder report. It's purpose-built to foster strategic partnerships rapidly and efficiently. I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought regarding your own reporting process. Ask yourself, does your current system truly prepare your founders for that critical moment in the deal room? Can they stand behind their numbers with absolute conviction? If we are seriously going to bridge that $200 billion SME finance gap in Africa, the answer has to be yes. I highly encourage you to explore the FloFund ecosystem to see how it can entirely transform your cohort's financial health and investor readiness. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.